Welcome to Life with AI, Unlocking Your Third Brain. In these short episode series, we'll unravel the profound ways AI is reshaping our lives. Dive in with me as we uncover tools and insights that empower you to elevate your health, intellect, and help you work with maximum efficiency. I'm your host, Richard Fala. Did you know that the average slide inside a presentation takes you about 45 minutes to 1 hour of your time to put together? And that includes the content and the research, the graphic or the artwork, and the font, layouts, animations, and so on. So if your slide or presentation has about 15 slides, 10 to 15, which is what most people average to, that will take you 2 to 3 days worth of work. What if we can use AI to cut this work by 90%? That's what I'm going to share with you today, how you can use off-the-shelf AI products or non-AI products, but all working together so you can create amazing, stunning presentations from idea all the way to, pretty much ready to pitch in just a few minutes. I'm going to be switching between my view and the prompt. So I'll share with you how you can prompt to create the topic and the tools you can use that are available, things you probably already know, like Canva, Adobe Express, ChatGPT, of course, and maybe one or two other things, and how you can make them work to get the best results. Before I do that, I would like to invite you to our waiting list of OpenBuild AI. We are building an amazing AI suite. It's an AI studio that you can drag and drop and build your own AI recipes in just a few minutes. We are pre-launch, so please join us if you're interested in building your own or optimizing your world with AI by automating these processes with no code. Now, why am I qualified to talk about this? It's because over the past 10 to 15 years, running my own companies, I've probably had to put together thousands of presentations for pitching events, talking to investors, doing investor committee meetings, just talking to employees in our employee events. So I've done it and I've went through the pain so much that once I figured out how to use or leverage AI to create those presentations, my mind was blown. Because I'm able to create things so quickly without having to go through the pain of, research and weeks sometimes to create these. Now, I always had a team to help me with this, but now my team can be more efficient. And if I need to create something real quick, I can do it on the fly. So I'm going to share with you that. Let me go ahead and switch to my screen here, and I'll explain the tools that I'm using. All right, so I'm using ChatGPT here, and I have the paid version, which allows me to add plugins. The plugins I'm included here, which I'll show you right now. I have Canva activated and another one called Slide Maker. Now, if you're wondering how to get here, I can go to the plugin store and I can search for slides. I've tried a few of these. The one that I liked the most was the one that I just shared. Now, there's a limitation with Canva, and I'll show you what it is. But before we get there, I want you to just start with me with the idea. We're going to create slides on the following topic: the impact of AI on presentation making. It's kind of something that we're talking about today. We're going to make a presentation out of it, and we're going to design it and get it out of the door together in the next, let's say, 15 minutes. So my prompt is quite simple. I said create a presentation outline about how AI is impacting. So the more specific you are about the topic, the better, of course. Focus on the time saved, the quality of the slides and tools. These are some further details on what to focus on. And you can leave references as well. Get as creative or as sophisticated with this. Don't be afraid to try variations of your commands or prompts and see which ones work best for you. So I did click send, and now these are going to get generated. Usually it suggests about 10 to 12 slides, more or less, including the opening slide. So it's given me bullet points. It's not diving deep into the topic, but I can add a command or a prompt that says, can you elaborate more on each point, each slide with ready content for the speaker. Here we go. I haven't really touched the slides yet. I'm preparing the content. Now, there are some tools out there where you can create those. I think this one is great, but the only thing is you cannot really communicate with the prompt. This one is slidemake.com. You can create, a topic, number of slides, and it gives you very basic layout. It's great. I always applaud people who build things. These are builders, developers, product makers. But the limitations here is I cannot communicate back and forth to optimize the content, which is what I'm doing here. So I'm fine-tuning the content. You can see it elaborated. So now what I will do is, if I'm content with this, of course, I will say, can you create the slides for these? Now, ChatGPT is smart enough to pick up the actual plugin. You see how it switched right here. I can extend and see what's going on behind the scene. If you're a geek and you like to look at the code, of course you don't have to, but this is just the behind the curtain scene. Now, the difference between this and Canva is not really generating the slides out of the content. And I'm going to show you. It gives me suggestions. I created one before of the closest one to the topic, but there's no content being parsed at all. These are just the templates that they are suggesting to me. Okay, so that's the difference. Even when I tried to parse the command, can you use the first template and insert the content, it said I don't have the capability to do that. So that being said, Canva might be good to just generate few things here and there, but the content itself cannot be, as of today, be added directly to the slides. So let's see what SlideMaker is going to get to. And by the way, for the sake of saving some time, I already preloaded some things, but let's just give it a second here. Sometimes they get stuck. All right, ultimately it's going to look like this. Download the slide. Once I click on it, it opens this particular page of DocMaker and it loads the content. How awesome is that? Every single slide has been loaded already and the design is not bad. Now, this particular platform offers a little bit of options. I can switch to minimalist if I want. There you go, just a little less. I can do the pitch deck. Now, obviously, these should not be your final slides, but it's a heck of a good start. So let's just go for the minimalist light, and I can do a few things. I can export this and download it to work locally on this via my PowerPoint. I can edit it directly in my Google Slides. So there are a few options here. If I click on what I've already preloaded right here, you can see the slides, they're already parsed for me, which is pretty awesome. Now what I can do is I can add more speaker notes. Obviously I can communicate further with ChatGPT to elaborate on every topic, but let's add some media to this, right? Images, etc. And there are many ways to do that. So the different tools available out there, you can use external things. For example, I can go to ChatGPT and I can even ask it, can you give me the DALL-E prompts to generate a realistic image for each slide? Should be relevant. So I am actually asking AI to give me the proper prompts so I can generate images using AI. So that's one way to do it. I can generate AI-powered images for my slides, and in which case I'm just piggybacking on the information here. I can use things like Pixabay, and I can search an open source library for things. So for example, I can just type in artificial intelligence, and I can use any of these like videos, images, and so on, and import them into my slide. And I do know they have this add-on to the workspace. For some reason, it worked on Google Worksheet and Google Docs, but it didn't work on the slides. And by the way, you can leverage the extension option here to look for the add-ons. So I can do Go add-ons. I can search for images. And these are some available options for me. Unsplash is a great option too. You can go ahead and just click on that. Admin installed. This is because I am inside an admin. And it might not apply right away. So there are some tools that are native to whatever editor you're using. In this case, if I go to extensions, you can see some of these here. Now I did try this plugin called AI Generator, but the only thing is it's limited in terms of credits. You're gonna have to go purchase some credits. I don't need to do that. I already have, ChatGPT, and you can see it already gave me the prompts for each slide. So for example, this is one. I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna copy it. Now the only problem with ChatGPT, or limitations, let's call it, is that right now it's not letting me combine plugins and using their DALL-E 3. This is the DALL-E 3 option. Maybe in the future that will be resolved and handled by default, but I'm just easily switching by creating a new thread, okay? I could have given it a little bit more kind of command here. Hopefully it's not going to take a long time. Here we go, creating images. And while this is being created, I would like to show you other tools that you can use. Pixabay is open, it's not AI really, it's just open source. There is Runway ML, that's probably something you can use to create videos, and we'll have a video session on its own. There's Adobe Firefly, where I can just parse the prompt and generate. It might be limited to some credits as well. And just Google Adobe Firefly and you'll be able to get to the final results. All right, this is lagging a little bit, so please bear with me. All right, so this is an image. Obviously, I can click on here. I can maybe copy it. Generative fill, there are some additional options which I like. Now you can use Adobe Firefly or Express, which is another way to modify slides and create things. It's almost like a Canva replica. They do have a basic version where you can search their media library. So I can go in and say AI, and I can use something already there by default, right? Like let's say this one, I can add it here. I can, of course, expand and send it to background. This stuff becomes just the basics of editing. This is really cool, you guys. I don't know about you, but this gets me really excited because I used to spend an enormous amount of hours on this. Now, furthermore, from an AI perspective, I can add my own images and I can modify those images. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I have photos here, my stuff. I want to use this image, add as image. Now I can use this generative fill, which is pretty cool, to tell the engine on the left to parse the command. So I can say add an eagle. So this is something I haven't seen on Google Slides from any of the extensions available. And by the way, as a disclaimer, some of these extensions are paid, some of them are not working, so you have to be kind of a little patient with this. I already got a few of them that worked for me, but some of them were paid. Canva, on the other hand, they have a premium version. Most of their AI stuff are locked behind that. But you can do something basic. Like for instance, I can do Magic Write and I can say rewrite this. Actually, this is paid. I didn't know that. I'm sorry about that. But you can apply maybe some additional edits to the slides if you like something a little bit more. You change the color palette and stuff like that. Again, it is basic. You can use Canva for modifying slides along with Adobe Express. Look, this is pretty decent. But you can just simply stick to Google Slides here. Now with all the extensions available, you can go into the add-ons and get add-ons. Pixabay is available, as I mentioned before. You can search artificial intelligence and use those. And they do have some extensions available for it. I did install it, but for some reason it hasn't shown yet. All right, so don't be afraid to experiment with this to get the add-ons that you need, append them to your Google Docs, and now apply the slides. All right, so from a ChatGPT perspective, I can just take this image right now and I can take it now to my slide and just add it here. And I can continue doing this for as much as I want, like for every slide. I already have the prompts available, as you can see right here. I did ask for the prompts. What was it? Right here. An interactive presentation of a real-time data visualization showing a presenter touching 3D graph that adjusts instantly. There you go. All right, so between the tools, I have used the native ChatGPT, and I switched between using the prompt to get the content, the plugins for Canva or SlideMaker. I then use SlideMaker to open or choose the design that I want. And I downloaded, imported it directly here, or you can simply click on edit that opens it directly in Google Slides. Once I got to this particular step, I was able to generate the prompts and images directly from ChatGPT, or you can use, I think, Firefly, which I'm not too happy with their results so far, but it's okay, it does the job. The only beauty about Firefly is you can add to the existing images certain things, like change things on the screen or add more objects to the generated image. So that's something a little bit more advanced that DALL-E does not do. And you can continue doing this for the entire slides until you get to the final results. So again, a lot of potential with this. You can keep it as simple as that. And honestly, this is pretty awesome right now. Just to kind of talk about the topic and go through it with a very minimalistic design. Obviously, you need to practice, do a little bit of homework. But in this very short presentation, I was able to make this available. Okay. Now, some people like to add more life to it and more videos. Again, come back to your Pixabay, choose the videos that you want. Let's say this one. You can download it, or some of them are free. Download clip. Now I can take it and import it into my slides. Oops. All right, I think I lost it, but there's a way to import videos. Anyways, you can play around with this. I can go on forever talking about all these awesome tools. But overall, AI can change the way that you craft slides. Very simple. Not only from creating content, but also to learning about the topic and applying that into slides and creating the shell in just a few seconds. I remember when this first launched, I was asking for the VBA code, which is the Visual Basic Code, and then I was going inside my PowerPoint and importing that through objects. It was quite complicated, but it was doable. But now with only these few plugins, I was able to do it. So that's it. I hope you like the content. This is what these episodes are about, is to share with you some tricks that allows you to leverage AI to optimize your life. In this case, optimizing the output of your work, saving a lot of time, which you can never buy back. I hope you're liking these episodes. I will share more. In the next one, maybe we'll do something around the video editing or image creation. Specifically, this was more centered around slides. If you do like the content, please like, share, or comment. Your support means a lot to me to continue building these and bringing to you tutorials and tricks to help you optimize your life with AI. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you on the next episode.